Well, hello, friends. Mark Martella here for Mark's Money Matters, your place for financial sanity and serenity. Well, if you're new to the show, what I try to do here is I try to help people break their addiction to debt and bring some sanity to their finances. And in today's show, I'm going to talk about a couple of topics. First, about how the IRS were about to send some cops out to arrest me. And then we're going to talk about the serious topic of the amount of debt that is out there, and it keeps growing quarter by quarter. And we'll talk about the recent statistics put out by the New York Federal Reserve. But let me tell you about an experience I had, and every once in a while I like to have a little fun. And I'm sure you've gotten these phone calls, if you're not on a no-call list, where someone's telling you that you have a very serious violation with the IRS, and unless you call us, we are sending out the cops to arrest you. Well, hopefully you're smart enough to understand that that's a scam, but again, it scares a lot of people, especially somebody who may have, fudged on their taxes a little bit. That guilt starts to play in, that fear starts to play in. But I always like to call and have some fun. So I call and put them on the speaker, and I have my staff in my office when I do it. And the person I speak to has a heavy accent, maybe from East Asia, and so he starts telling me about how I have 4 serious violations. Meanwhile, in the background, you hear the same conversations going on to other people. And these 4 serious violations, and so I act very concerned. And when he tells me what it is, he just is very general when he's talking about it. I said, well, give me the actual regulation. What does it say? What does it mean? And he keeps coming back and forth. So you're not listening to me? I say, yes, I am. Tell me it. He says, well, you need to speak to my supervisor because you're not listening to me. I'm like, okay. So he puts his supervisor on, and he says, how you doing? I say, I'm not well. And he's like, what's the matter? You're not feeling well? I said, no, I think I'm being BS'd. And he says, what are you being BS'd on? I said, I deal with the IRS every day. They're not, they don't call like this. And then there's silence, and he says, yeah, this is a scam, and hangs up. So that's the first time I ever got them to admit that they're a scam before hanging up. A lot of times they just hang up on me. But again, it's the way someone in my position amuses themselves at times. But let's switch gears to a more serious topic. And that topic is the amount of debt that is out there and growing. And I've been following these statistics for a long time in my role as a bankruptcy attorney. And so every quarter, the New York Federal Reserve comes out with their household debt and credit statistics. And forgive me, I'm going to read some of this, but it's important stuff that people need to wake up about. So, according to the most recent report, aggregate household debt balances increased in the fourth quarter of 2017 for the 14th consecutive quarter, and for now 5 years in a row. As of December 31st, 2017, total household indebtedness was $13.15 trillion. A $193 billion increase from the third quarter. So in just 3 months, total household debt went up $193 billion. Overall, household debt is now 17.9% above the 2013 second quarter low. So in 5 years, really 4 years, because we're not counting 2018, up 18%. Credit card balances increased by $26 billion. That's 3 months, $26 billion. Now you know how they're able to afford all those commercials that you're inundated with, and we're going to get even more inundated with as we begin March Madness. Well, there's a lot of debt in delinquency. Of the $619 billion of debt that is delinquent, $406 billion is seriously delinquent, at least 90 days late, also known as severely derogatory. The flow into 90-day delinquency for credit card balances. That means the new number of credit card balances that are more than 90 days late has been increasing notably from the last year, and the flow into 90 plus days delinquencies for auto loans has been slowly increasing since 2012. Again, all the signs of what happened in 05, 06, and 07. About 200,000 consumers had a bankruptcy notation added to their credit reports in just the fourth quarter of 2017. Let's look at student loans. Outstanding student loan debt grew and stood at $1.38 trillion as of December 31st, 2017. And the big fear with that is student loan debt is generally not dischargeable, and it's acting as a noose around the necks of millennials, but not even millennials. I have so many clients in their 40s with $100,000 in debt. Either they've never been paid it off, they've kicked the can down the road, or they went back to school and got a degree that's not going to allow them to make the type of money they need to make to pay off these loans. It can rise to the level of real anger. 11% of student loan debt was 90 days late or in default. Again, going back to auto loan balances, they increased by $8 billion in the fourth quarter, continuing their 6-year upward trend. Auto loan delinquency rates increased, with 4.1% of auto loan balances 90 days or more delinquent just in the fourth quarter. And if you look on my Facebook page for Money Matters, you'll see I posted an article about basically the crazy loans that are out there. Just like the crazy loans that were out for mortgages, same thing exists for auto loans out there. And it's been my experience that as long as you can fog a mirror, that salesman's going to find you a loan. So these are some of the statistics that are out there and growing each quarter. You know, we've had some scares with the stock market. Now, every year the stock market adjusts a little bit. I know in the first quarter, a lot of realtors were telling me that things had slowed down. In one area around here in Southwest Florida, I was told prices have gone down from last year. So are we seeing the signs? I mean, normally the economic cycle will be 5-6 years. We're in our 9th year of growth, going into our 10th year. Just saying, things, be smart out there with your investing. If you have a lot of debt, you want to figure out how to take control of it, just go to my website. It's simply markmarteller.com. That's the Money Matters website. We have all kinds of informative videos, and I would suggest you listen to episode 13 of my podcast. It explains in detail my 5-step financial sanity solution, how you can get out of debt and get a fresh start in your life. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me an email. It's simply mark@markmarteller.com. If you have a topic you'd like to hear me talk about on the show, please send that to me as well. And when we do our Facebook Lives, you can always ask a question while we're on the air. So again, I'm Mark Martella for Mark's Money Matters. And remember, you have the power to choose to live a debt-free, stress-free life. Have a great week.